On this first one, you never want the All-American to have this much space in the middle of the court like that. Him catching the ball here is not ideal for us, so RJ Davis really needs to do a better job of getting in front and taking this away. They're not spaced that well on the backside, and if you watch Davis here, he just doesn't react to this rotation. On this pass here, Cormac Ryan and RJ Davis, they need to be more shading towards the middle of the court. Even Ingram here all the way in the corner. There's just no one in help enough. Like RJ needs to be more in help. Let them get this pass back over top. Let that one go because Cormac is right there on a closeout and we can help. Just have one more step in the paint so that you can keep him from even catching this ball in this area. And then down here, they gave Baycott a touch early off the handoff here. He's going to hand it back off to Cadeau, and Elliot Cadeau had a great game yesterday. They're just going to run Baycott off these two back screens, and Duke doesn't communicate well enough and gets confused and gives up the look right under the rim. But Cadeau does a good job to control tempo here, control the pace of letting this develop. It goes dribble handoff here with Cadeau and Baycott, but then he tempos it out. He's going to pound it, wait for this to get set up. Then he gets the swing over, and you never want to have a post-entry pass. You never want to have this look come from the top here. In between in between the painted, the lane lines, you want to get it out to the side. You want to have a side entry on the post feed. So, like I said, Cadeau just does a good job to tempo this out, and then he gets it to the side, and then we can get a look inside off that. Duke just has to do a better job communicating. So it comes down to the little things, right? Right here, this frame, you got him beat on this ball screen. If Jeremy Roach, number 3 in dark, hits Armando Baycott in white with the pink shoes hard enough, he will force the switch. If he hits him hard enough and just holds his ground and then slips right to the rim, he will force a switch. He will force his defender to step up onto the ball as long as 30 in dark keeps attacking. And he will force the guy in the pink shoes to guard him towards the rim. But I want you to watch what happens here because that's just not enough of a bump. He doesn't stand his ground hard enough. It's weak. It's not tough enough. It's not winning. Filipowski has to hesitate. The ball handler has to hesitate off of it because you let Baycott get right back in front into a scoring position. But I'm telling you, at that frame right here, when you're lined up like you are here, if you play with some physicality and you hit Armando Baycott clean, square, and just hold your ground, and then cut to the hoop right after, it'll force the switch and it'll force at least some help out here from the weak side. And then you'll have a kick out or just allow good things to happen from there. So right here is just hunting spots and being active off the ball. Cormac Ryan in the corner recognizes his defender falling asleep and runs to an open spot on the court. And RJ Davis sees it too. He screens in on his own guy, and it's an open look. You just got to catch the damn ball, put that thing up. But Jeremy Roach, number 3, dark again, he does a good job to get up here and play transition defense, get in the line, up the line, and deny the corner entry here. But you're being lazy on this ball reversal right here. You need to be closer to the baseline so that you can have a good angle on the ball and your man. When this ball goes to the opposite wing over here, you're not close. He's not close enough to the baseline to see that guy and his own guy. He ends up being down here. And that's just way too easy for Cormac Ryan to see the back of Jeremy Roach's head, his own defender, and then just run to the open spot. It takes 2 passes for Roach to recognize it. 1, 2, and now he's there. And this is something that just makes UNC so dangerous. I mean, you got 2 Wooden Watch Player of the Year candidates right here screening for each other off the ball. And, this guy has to stay attached to RJ Davis, and Filipowski's trying to get through it, but RJ makes good contact with him. And it's just a very difficult one to defend. Like I said, you get the entry from the side instead of over the top. And then Baycott is just so good with his feet and his body and his positioning that he puts Filipowski right on his backside. I mean, he gets deep and then he comes back to the ball. He hunts the rim. He gets as deep as he can, makes good, clean, solid contact, gets his body into Filipowski, and then puts two hands up and comes back to go get the ball. All right, ideally you don't want to see him put it on the deck, but he's got to corral the pass. It allows the defender to wall up more than you would like and for the double team to come as well. But Big Hot, yeah, he's got to pass it. You can see on this air ball that Hubert Davis is telling them to go out and get running. He's trying to push the pace, and they scored 93 in this game because the fact that they outscored the Blue Devils 16-12 in transition and 19-7 in points off turnovers. Two very key areas of the game that were just completely dominated by Carolina, and it started on the defensive end with blocks and steals and just forcing turnovers to start their transition opportunities. This is Jalen Withers shooting 20% from behind the three-point line this year. So he's going to decide to go and try and get himself a look at the rim. We get the ball all the way in the corner here, and Baycott does a good job once again to free himself up for the post look. And here's Jalen Withers shooting 20% from out there. He's like, let me get to the rim. Luckily, his man double teams, and he does get wide open on this cut here right to the rim. And because he's actively trying to make a good play, it ends up working out for us. Harrison Ingram is wide open for this three-point look because Withers is trying to make a good play. He gets in the way of the defender who's crashing, and then we get a free look. So it's an interesting play here. It's not often you get two defenders screening each other, but Elliot Cadeau is going to come off this ball screen, and usually you have either the guy who is guarding the guy who set the ball screen defending you, and they switch, or your initial defender stays on you and he fights through it. It's not often you come off this with neither of those two guys guarding you, but that's what happens here. And Cadeau does a good job to keep his composure. He just reads what's in front of him. He sees this guy step up and he processes that and just finds the open guy. It's a great pass here. And it's not necessarily true that Jeremy Roach is out of position here, but the guy in the corner, Seth Trimble, is open. Two things can be true at the same time. Roach isn't necessarily out of position, but his guy is open here. It just baffles me that those two would run into each other like this off this screen here, and Cadeau makes it, like I said, a great pass. They run that same action that they ran the first play of the game here towards the end of the half. It's a double drag out of the corner to start it, get a touch to Baycott. Set another one here for the guard coming back to get the ball. And then we're going to have a double drag cross on the baseline for Armando Baycott as the ball gets swung back to the top. Again, he's patient here to wait for this to get set up, and the timing is on point again. So once again, it's just a double drag out of the corner to initiate it, get Baycott the touch. Cormac Ryan's going to keep going because he's the ball reversal guy that is going to end up feeding the post. And then we set another one for the ball handler to come back and get it into a double drag cross on the baseline for our post. Ball reversal, be patient, look inside. Not there this time. But we play off of it, get a good look. So this is an adjustment on Duke's offensive side that I think needs to be made because Cormac Ryan is just being too much of a dog on these ball screens. Filipowski, in my opinion, is just too far out. He's too far away from the hoop, and it's not doing anything good for us. Like, at this point, I don't want you above the three-point line setting it if we don't have to be. And you do us no good here by continuing to move away from the hoop because Cormac is just going to dodge the screen anyways and get around it. So from here, you can either do two things now. You can roll all the way to the hoop and challenge Baycott at the rim, or you can hit a short roll and pull up right around, the elbow area or a little bit above on a bounce pass because that bounce pass is obviously open, and the short roll is kind of the move here. But my main beef is just that Filipowski has to go too high up to get this, and then he continues to go away from the hoop even more. And it doesn't result in any positivity here because Cormac just dodges the screen and it doesn't. He doesn't hit him. Never a bad idea to spam this empty corner ball screen dribble handoff action. It was get the ball out of the hoop quick because Jeremy Roach is under the hoop and Filipowski is not back. They do a good job, these three Duke defenders, to stop the ball and match up. So with no advantage in transition, it's just empty corner, spam the dribble handoff, spam the ball screen, let good things happen, and we find our big. Wall up here, he reads this guy who's staying home in the corner, and just one-on-one move. Here he is again, Cormac Ryan, not allowing Tyrese Proctor to use the ball screen. I don't know if I've seen it done better than this. He's just absolutely fearless getting to this spot. I mean, Filipowski's hunting Ryan out. He's hunting him out. He would be in this spot, but Cormac Ryan just is fearless enough to step right through it and take away the space that Proctor and Filipowski are both trying to get to. Not allowing him to use the ball screen, not allowing the empty side corner action that we have spent a couple videos now discussing happen. Only time it's acceptable to not have a hedge or go under the screen or to outright blitz, to not have a ball screen coverage with the ball in a scoring position, is when the defender, on-ball defender, has a 9-inch height advantage. Like, this is MPJ versus Steph Curry type. I'm talking AD on, like, De'Aaron Fox. All right. Mark Mitchell does a great job to fight over it here. And since he has the 9-inch height advantage, he is able to get back in front and deny RJ Davis from the midi. And, this is where Duke needs to be more aggressive. Down 10 in the second half, you got no urgency here. No sense of urgency. You have no time to waste. Get the ball down the court. Get the ball ahead. You got to find a way to attack this mismatch. You got to recognize it and attack this mismatch. All right, Filipowski is not running, and Jeremy Roach is not running. They're probably looking for this empty side ball screen, but they're not on the same page. You give UNC time to switch back, and you don't take advantage of the mismatch that you had. All right, if I'm Jeremy Roach, what I'm doing, honestly, is getting the ball to the opposite side of the court. If you get this ball to the opposite side of the court here to Tyrese Proctor, then you have Harrison Ingram making a horrible play. If the ball is here, then Harrison Ingram is out of position. We got 2-on-1 here, and Mark Mitchell crashing towards the rim with a smaller defender on his backside just from getting the ball swung and getting it ahead. Ball goes here, even if he does recover, we attack this closeout, and then he can come right across the baseline. Right across the paint. We attack this closeout, we get it in the paint, we get it going towards the baseline, and then he's going to have a mismatch still and just allow these guys to play from out. I'm getting the ball ahead, and I'm going 3-on-3 right here. This sequence is killing me. 3-on-2. How is no one attacking the rim? It's 3-on-2. And we get bailed out. Honestly, this is good defense from Cadeau. He looks like he beats Mark Mitchell to this spot. He's in legal guarding position in front of him. And he's walled straight up. They get bailed out. Yeah, I know what I said at the beginning of this video, that this matchup down here didn't really have a huge or significant impact on who won the game, but I may have been wrong because the amount of times that Baycott gets his feet deep into the paint, gets both of his feet in a scoring position right at the front of the rim, and has Kyle on his backside, it was a lot. It was a lot in this game, and this is just a great pass to. I know I said never in from the top either, but when it's quick like this, it's off of a rotation, so just like a ball reversal, and he's got a complete. He's sitting on him completely. You can see his whole chest. You can see both of his hands. It's easy to deliver the ball right there. So on this one, this is Ryan Young here in dark blue, number 15. You can see that Jeremy Roach, number 3, has already got a step on his defender at this point. And if Ryan Young were to recognize that and slip right to the hoop at this point, he could get behind his defender or at least take him out of the area that Jeremy Roach is trying to get to, because he already has this step and he can come curl it right away. Like, he can come straight to the ball. He's going to make a catch right here. If you just dive to the hoop, he's still got a catch in space, and then you're either underneath the hoop with this big and he can continue to attack, or he's going to catch the ball and give it right to you because this big has to step up on him. And then if he steps in on you, you play off of that. But he just doesn't make good enough of a basketball play here by not slipping. He's got to recognize the spacing of the defense and where his defender is, where his own defender is, as well as where Jeremy Roach's defender is when he's trying to set the screen on him. He doesn't even really make contact, and there's no impact there. If you slip to the hoop, you force the defense to make a play. One more time. Got to react. I don't even got to say nothing. And we got bodies. And, on this end, everything that Filipowski's had in this game is fading away and not right underneath, look at the rim. He's not as deep in the paint. He doesn't he doesn't get his body into Baycott as well on this possession, and he has to fade away and make a difficult shot. Most of Baycott's looks have been underneath the hoop on the late help side or just too deep a position to really do anything. And most of Kyle's looks look more like this, fading away and falling away and a little bit deeper out or further from the rim. And then down on this end, you see obviously the difference with the double team. Jeremy Roach is so far underneath the paint that Trimble can just look right in and get a look underneath the rim. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier with the bump that Jeremy Roach just didn't give good enough. This isn't much better of a bump, but he at least gets in the path of the defender who's guarding the ball. Baycott, on this handoff, he steps right in the path of Mark Mitchell to get through. There's a gap here, and then Baycott looks to close that gap. So Mitchell has to make a decision, and he ends up going over, and it takes longer for him to get around. If Baycott hands it right off and he steps forward, then Mitchell gets right through, and that creates no advantage for the ball, for Cormac Ryan with the ball. But Baycott takes his path, takes the direct line, and forces Mitchell to go over top. Creates an advantage, and we get a contested look. Does create an advantage. Straight line drive here, but doesn't really read the help side very well. Cormac Ryan, I probably wanted you to continue your dribble here, attack the hoop, rather than kick this out. This is a great job of just sticking to principles. You get the ball with the side pretty much to yourself and baseline attack available, and you may not know exactly where you're going other than trying to get to the rim off 2 feet, but there's an old saying which is just, you don't have to make 100 plays in a game. You have to make one right play 100 times. You don't have to make 100 perfect plays. You have to make one perfect play 100 times. So you get down here, you make the perfect play by driving, and then you just make the next play. You have options here. It's a difficult pass, left hand, all the way out to Cormac Ryan here with the help side in a threatening space to kind of tip the ball out of bounds or intercept the pass. So you make perfect play once, maybe not the perfect play again, but you just read it and you take what the defense gives. You let good things happen. Here's one of the times that Filipowski did finish strong at the rim over Baycott. Gets it in on a post entry. Just goes face up, one move, spin back. The footwork is really good here. Baycott, he takes away the left, so he forces him back to the right, and then he takes that away as well. And then Filipowski's going to drop step right off the left, finish with the left side. So once again, it's cut him off left, cut him off right, force him back left, but then Filipowski is there with the drop and off two. And I'm comfortable enough now saying that this was a common theme, just too much separation given here between Filipowski and his defender. Jeremy Roach or John McCain, not John McCain, Jared McCain. Jeremy Roach or Jared McCain have to step up here to deny Baycott getting the ball so easily. But my main point is Filipowski's lost. He can't give up this much space. He's got to fight through this and do a better job of holding on to Baycott and keeping him closer. Because once you lose him, now you got to get back, and he's got 2 feet in the paint again. Very good pass again from Cormac Ryan. He's got his eyes on the paint. He's looking for he's looking there on the catch. And once again, he sees Baycott's whole chest and 2 hands coming back to the ball. Filipowski isn't even looking for it. It's a great pass. But again, just too much space created here off this pick. And Filipowski has to do a better job of keeping his defender close. Because once you lose him, like I said, it's just difficult to get repositioned when he's so good with 2 feet in the paint right at the rim. Once again, we lose him on the ball screen, and then you're just fighting to get back in position the whole rest of the possession. And Baycott's got the position. We just can't get the pass there. So we're just trying to get the ball in our best player's hands, and it's always a good rule of thumb here. You'll see R.J. Davis trying to get available off the screen here from Baycott. They defended well, and Baycott's resetting him another one here for a look over the top. Cormac Ryan's on the baseline. He's reading it the whole way. He's trying to give him the whole side when R.J. catches this ball. So these two on the baseline, Cormac and Harrison Ingram, are reading R.J. They think he's trying to get the ball right here, so they're going to stay opposite. He's not able to get it, so they're going to clear out the other side. They see Baycott setting up, so Cormac is out early. He's out early. He's going back the other way. This is an exit action a little bit with the ball going one way and a guy on the baseline getting screened to the corner the opposite. So RJ is now coming over top. Baycott, again, resetting the screen to get him a look. Trying to get him the ball here. Going opposite. Doesn't work. Trying to get him the ball over top. Let's go opposite. And now he's there. He's available. Draws a crowd, obviously. Filipowski protecting the rim. But that allows RJ, again, once you lose him, or not RJ, Baycott, once again, once you lose him, it's hard to get back. It allows him to get position, a dangerous place. We're going to get the ball into him, keeping the ball in our best player's hands. And then from here, just great awareness on a flare screen action. These guys are going to stay wide, stay spaced. They're shooters out here, dangerous guys, not a lot of help off of them. So there's a lot of space in the middle here because he's got the ball in the middle in a dangerous spot, and we got shooters on the backside. So he's going to stand and help, and off the flare screen, it's just wide open over the top for our best players. Beautiful, simple, when you break it down, just difficult to defend multiple actions that are set up to get looks. There's one. All right, now we got positioning. There's another look. And then let me just read it. There's our third look. So it takes 3 or 4 looks if you want to count R.J. Davis getting available the first time. 1, not there. Here's 2. And they're going opposite. It's just principled, good looks. Three and 4.